See, I have one play in football, two plays. I'm going to show you some NFL props for anytime touchdowns. I'm going to show you why this other play is so strong for the NFL. It's going to be about 3 NFL plays and about 2 props. This is something where basically where it shows there's something called ProfitX, and then there's also something called Novig. There's new sports books that are out right now that they have something called Liquidity. And what this means is that you can basically place bets on any amount of money you want. And it goes to a peer-to-peer network. It's not like DraftKings or FanDuel. So, for example, if I wanted to place a bet for $10,000, I could put up my own odds on one of these platforms like Novig or ProfitX. And as you can see here, that's what people are doing. You can see this is showing you DraftKings right here, and then this is showing you Onyx. And I can't see what this one is. So Onyx and DraftKings. But then you compare that over here, you see ProfitX and Novig. So this is actually legit money that I can go in here and place the bet against these people, all the way up to the amount of money that you see right there. So what I'm trying to show you here is called sharp money, okay? This actually coincides with what I was looking at earlier. So, for example, you can see right here the over-under action on the Rams. You can see 60% of the money is coming in. 93% of the money and 88% of the bets are coming in on the under. You can see it's over here blue, 88 and 93. So what this is telling you, again, this is a confirmation that the Jaguars and the Rams, the money is coming in heavily on the under. So the line actually shifted from a 47 to a 44. So that's already a 3-point line move. And those are actually key numbers. The 44 and the 47 are key numbers. So anyways, I'm looking on the under, but I didn't take it straight up. I actually put it into a parlay, and I bought it all the way up to a 54.5 on the under. So I'm taking the under, but like I said, I'm taking it at the under 44.5. So this is one thing I started doing again, is just looking at where the sharp money is coming in or the heavy money is coming in, and then see if it makes sense. And this one does make sense. This is something that I was doing last year, and last year it seemed to be a little bit easier because I was able to find these horrible teams, and then I would just kind of fade them, and then I would do two strong teams to fade the weak teams. But for some reason, I haven't been able to find like super weak teams that match with very strong teams as of yet. So in this case, normally it's 2 teams, but in this case, I couldn't find them. Anyway, let me explain what this is. Titans, 0% in their last 8 games versus top 10 scoring defenses. So Tennessee Titans are one of the worst teams right now, and they're going against Patriots. This is a quick breakdown. The Patriots started at a 1.5, and now they're currently at a 6.5. The projections show that they should be winning by 3. So this line is shifting past that 3 number. 75% of the bets, 74% of the money is coming in on the Patriots. They do have a better record, like I mentioned. You start looking at all these stats right here, everything is matching towards the Patriots. So I am taking the Patriots. Again, I'm taking those as part of a parlay. So I did the money line on the Patriots. I also took the -6. I'm going to show you the slip for that. 3-time is saying that the Rams just scored. I didn't know that they were live right now. I don't know if they're playing in London or whatever. But I did take the Rams earlier in the week, and I parlayed that together, I believe, with the Broncos or something like that. Anyways, I do have the Rams today. This was earlier this week. I posted this. I usually post these on Tuesday, and it's just a strong indication of streaks. This has nothing to do with my bets at all. This is just something that we put out there for your information. So we do these for shots on goal. We do these for one hits for baseball, and then we do these for anytime touchdowns. So this is the one for baseball. For today, you can see George Polanco, George Springer. You got to be careful with George Springer. That's why the odds, I mean, they're pretty heavy right here. But George Springer got hit in the knee last game. He actually messed up our play because we had the Blue Jays, and he ended up getting out of the game. So that messed up our play. But anyways, I would be careful with that guy right there. You got Julio Rodriguez. You got them all right there. If you want to take a screenshot, that's for baseball for today's game. And then we got the shots on goal. Obviously, like I mentioned, these are not our plays. These are just strong leans that you want to look at. So if you wanted to see, which players are hot, that's where we post these on our channel. So make sure you subscribe. You can check that out. All right, let's see. I like that the under because it's raining in London. Yeah, maybe that's the reason it went down. And maybe, the travel and everything, they're going to be tired to score and shit like that. So I didn't know that we bet hockey. Yeah, my business partner is in Canada, and he does a lot of hockey. So I've been following him pretty much all his bets for years. And now I started helping him with scrapers and things like that. So if you want all the stuff that we post, get the free stuff right here. The Discord has been on fire. I believe, I haven't personally ran the numbers, but I believe it was like 30 units last month for Discord. And then VIP I've been struggling a little bit with the NFL, especially like some horrible losses like the Steelers this week. And then some other teams that just have shit to bed like Arizona Cardinals. And I made a video about it and stuff like that. So VIP, I've been struggling a little bit, either breaking even or on a little bit of a losing streak. But then the Discord has been on fire. So if you guys want to check that out, I actually have a pass for Discord where I'm giving it away for free for 30 days. That's usually $20 a month. And I think there's only 6 slots. I put it out there yesterday. So I think 4 people took me up on it. We have like 6 more slots. If you want it for free, send me a text message and I'll send you the link. It's not available on the page here. But if you want to do that, text me and say, hey, I'm interested in the free Discord. I think it's like six more slots for that. All right, so the first play I gave you guys is the under. I took it at the under 54.5 for the Rams. That's actually buying it back almost a full touchdown, actually 10 points up, a teaser. So I ended up buying it a teaser 54.5 on the under. The line is shifting all the way down to a 44.5. And then I already gave you the Patriots. So I took this one at a -6 on the Patriots because the Tennessee Titans are just trash. Completely trash. And the Patriots actually beat the Bills this season already. So they're decent. I think they're 3-2 or 4-1 or something like that. And then I'm gonna hook you guys up with a batter prop. These right here have been amazing. I gave this away like 2 days ago. And this guy here, Julio Rodriguez, you can see right there. We've been placing, I said this like 3 videos ago, that pretty much every game that he's played for the last 2 weeks or something like that, this prop right here keeps coming up. And that's because even if he gets on base, he doesn't run. And if he gets a home run, obviously he's not going to steal a base because he's already got a home run. Anyways, these stolen bases right here, you can see how heavily juiced this is because it's very, very, very consistent. So, and I do like the Rams on the money line. I took them on the money line with a 3-leg parlay. I also took the Titans. The Patriots. I just told you about that. I like the Broncos. The Bears, I was looking at very strongly at the Bears, but then they ended up, let me see. I'm going to tell you what happened here. I actually had the Bears since like Tuesday. I took the Bears. They were at a -7.5 right here. And the line was still like a -7.5. But this, it's been moving. And now the sharps are all over the Saints. And now the line actually shifted in the wrong direction. So I'm not going to cash out. I actually had the Bears at a +3.5. And I took that with Denver. So I took Denver on the money line. And then I took the Bears at a +3.5. Don't chase on that one. Don't quote me on that one. Because like I said, I didn't cash out, but I also didn't share it. So if you want to take that risk, that's up to you. The line is shifting in the wrong direction for the Bears, but I have them at a +3.5. So that's a little bit of a cover. And then I have the Broncos on the money line. The Broncos should demolish the Giants. Everything is pointing towards the Broncos to win this pretty easily. So the line is all the way at a minus. For the money line, it's all the way like at a -380 or something crazy like that. So that's why I took it with the Bears +3.5. So Pittsburgh, like I mentioned, we did have those. They were supposed to win by 6. They ended up losing by 1 or by 2 or something like that. I already said the Saints. The line is shifting in favor of the Saints. I do have the Bears at a +3.5. I'm staying away from this game. I do have the Patriots at a -6. Kansas City Chiefs. I've been taking the Chiefs with other parlays. I was gonna do a hedge, but I didn't have enough to warrant it. So I only have like 2 or 3 bets with the Chiefs already. But that's the second leg of other parlays that have been hitting this week. So for example, I had this Julio Rodriguez that I just shared earlier in the week because he was so expensive. I had to parlay it with something. So I parlayed it with the Chiefs. Anyways, I have like 2 or 3 open parlays right now with the Chiefs money line. Actually, -2.5 because they're so heavily juiced. You can see the line shifted at a -9.5 all the way to a -11.5. Even at a -2.5, it's like odds are -500. So it's heavily juiced for the Chiefs to take this easily. Some people were talking about the Vikings to take this. I don't trust it enough. The line is shifting in the favor of the Vikings. There's a lot of information on the Vikings, but I didn't like it enough. I'm staying away. Like I said, I'm taking the Chiefs. I took them -2.5, but that's only to use them as a parlay piece. I actually cashed out. I had the Panthers on the money line. You can see right here. I had the Panthers at a money line, and I cashed out because there was a lot of contradictions. Something was looking very, very good on Tuesday, and you can see it's a +1.5 to a -1.5. So they flip-flopped from an underdog to a favorite. And I took them, but then today I woke up and I'm like, no, this does not look good. So I normally do not cash out. I would say 95% of the time I don't cash out, but I did cash out on this case. Another thing I saw too was, like I mentioned, the money. This situation here, there was about $15,000 coming in on the Jets. So that's another reason I cashed out. And then, like I said, the money was coming in, the line was shifting, things like that. There was too many contradictions coming in for me to keep my money in there. So I cashed out. Indianapolis, I'm staying away from this game. The Colts were actually, the line is shifting dramatically. You can see they started at a +6 and now they're at a +2.5. Everything was pointing. They have the best offense. The Colts are pretty much the number 1 team right now for offensive line, the quarterback, all that stuff. So the problem was that there's a lot of injuries. So when I went to place this bet this morning, I was like, man, the Colts are a damn seal. Like, it's a lock. And I was about to place the bet. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go make sure on the injuries. And sure enough, they got a bunch of injuries. So it just didn't make sense why these guys would be underdogs. You can see 83% of the bets, 89% of the money is coming on the Colts. The line is shifting towards the Colts, everything like that. But again, look at the projected score. They're supposed to lose over here, and that's because of the injuries. So I stayed away from that game. Dallas and Washington, I'm not touching this. I just realized that some of these logos ain't loading, so I'm going to check that out. Green Bay, I'm not touching it. Look at it closer tomorrow. It's a Monday Night Football game. I do like the Lions for sure. They have one of the best defenses, and they have one of the best rushing defender in the league. He's actually the number 1 rushing defender in the league. So, and not only that, but they have like the number 2 defense in the NFL. So these guys are somewhat decent. I mean, they're okay, but there's no comparison to the strong defense that the Lions have. You can see the line did shift. So I'll be back tomorrow. I will explain it more. I'll confirm it tomorrow. You can see only 31. So this is what's crazy too, is that look at how much money is coming in on Tampa Bay. 76% of the bets, 69% of the money is coming in on Tampa Bay, but the line is still shifting away from them. So this is called a reverse line move. And this is very strong because look how much, again, 69%, 78% of the bets, 69% of the money, and the line is still going against them. So what that tells you is that the books respect the sharp money coming in on Detroit. Therefore, they have to move the line to get more people to place the bets on Tampa Bay to cover the sharp money. So anyways, I really like Detroit. I'm going to confirm it tomorrow. I don't even know how many scrapers I have, but pretty much I have for a bunch of props for NFL, receiving yards, passing yards, field goals, tackles and assists, What else? I have shots on goal, one hits, under RBIs, stolen bases. So, anyways, I run all these scrapers in the morning, and then I check them out pretty much every day. Obviously, for football, I only check on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Guys, so I hope you guys got some value out of this. I appreciate you guys being here on a Sunday. I'm going to go through exactly what I talked about real quick. I do like the Rams to win. I like the Rams on the under. I took them at an under 54.5. I parlayed that together with other stuff. Here's the touchdowns. Make sure you get the free picks. Check out the Discord. It's free. If you want the free Discord for 1 month, let me know. We hit a 30-unit month last month just on the Discord stuff. Here's the ticket for the Patriots. Here's the stolen bases. I'm going to go on the under 1 stolen base for Julio Rodriguez. Here's the money that came in for the under. That's super heavy for the under on the Rams game. 3 times said that it was raining in London. They already started. So the Rams are already up 14-0 in the second quarter. So they just started the second quarter. They're already up 14-0. So like I said, I had them on the money line as a parlay piece. The line is at 47.5 right now. So you can get it. You can get the under 47.5. However, it's kind of risky now because the Rams are scoring a lot. They've actually scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. So you figure if they're scoring that easily, then again, if they're winning by a lot, they usually sit out the starters. So there's a lot of stuff like that. You got to be careful with. I took the under 54.5, but I'll leave it up to you guys to check that out. Like I said, I have the Patriots -6 on the under. I give you a bunch of stuff. I have way more plays. They're all in the VIP. I threw them out this morning. So make sure you subscribe, guys. I give out a lot of free value. I appreciate you guys.